Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I will be talking about what I did, the things that I did as soon as I turned 18. Now, I'm not going to try and make fancy edits on this video. I want it to be as raw as possible. Now, I'm an African living in the UK, you know. This video applies to people who are in Africa. It applies to people who are in the UK. This video basically applies to everyone who is either about to turn 18 or has just turned 18 and they want ways to get ahead in life, you know. Now, forgive me, I am sick, so I'll try my best to, you know, to help you guys. But yeah, the things that I did when I was 18 was I did a lot of research on how to get ahead as an 18-year-old or someone who's about to turn 18. Before I turned 18, there were things that I wanted to do online to make money, but I could not do them because I was not yet of age or not yet 18 years old, right? So I had done research. I was waiting for me to turn 18 and I'd done a lot of research on the things that I wanted to do as soon as I turned 18. Now, if you are, depending on what country you are in, I think you should already be able to have a bank account before you turn 18. I think that if you are someone who wants to have a if you're someone who wants to be wealthy or you want to get rich or you want to have a lot of money, you know, I would say definitely open a bank account because I've spoken to so many people in real life and they ask me, "Oh, how can I do this? How can I do that?" They want to be rich, they want to make so much money, but they don't even have a bank account. That's like you wanting to get money, but you don't even have a way to receive payments, you know. So if you are not even 18, if you're waiting to turn 18, just open a bank account. It's a no-brainer, you know. Open the account, just have it. You don't have to put money in it. You don't have to use it or do anything too crazy. Just open a bank account and leave it there. And if you have not done that, do it. And if you are turning 18, open up a high yield savings account. These accounts, you're able to earn, I think it's about 3.4% or 4% a year from just having the money in there. So let's say you keep $100 in there, $100, £100, whatever currency you're using, and you put it in the account, you'll end up making $4 a year. It's not much, but over time it compounds. And if your balance is higher, you get more money. That's another thing. And another thing I would recommend you guys doing is opening up a stocks and shares ISA account, right? Or a Roth IRA if you're in the States, right? This basically enables you to buy shares or stocks in companies, you know. Um, and there are some indices or some stocks, like let's say the Nasdaq. I'm sure you've heard of the Nasdaq or the S&P 500. These are the stocks where these are the stocks that have an average of 10% a year, right, over the last 100 years that they've been open. So that means um, if you were to buy the share today and come back 365 days later, that same share price would be worth 10% more than what you purchased it for. And it's basically a 100% guarantee because it's averaged around 10% a year in profit over the last 100 years, like I said before. So definitely open up something like that. Another important thing I want to talk about is start building credit. I I am a fan of credit. A lot of people say that, oh, credit is bad, you know, all these things. But the way I look at credit is, let's say I don't have money, right? I am someone who wants to be in the position to have access to things, even if I know I'm not going to use it. I just want to have it. I just know that it's safe. Because let's say I don't have money, right? Let's say I had um 5,000, right? $5,000 or pounds or whatever. Then somehow I lost the money and now I'm stuck, right? I'm stuck. I don't want to be someone who now has to start like stressing, you know. I want to be someone who says, okay, I've lost the money. I'm going to deal with that. As of now, what money am I going to use? You can dip into savings, not into savings, into credit. You can dip into credit because credit allows you to be somewhat free. You don't have to be stressing all the time of where you're gonna get money. Obviously, pay off your debt, pay off everything. Another good thing with credit is, depending on the country you're in, if you build your credit well enough, it helps you to buy properties. So put a down payment on a house. If your credit score is high enough or good enough, they allow you to put a down payment. You pay over the course of 10, 20, or 30 years. So that's another good thing. Obviously, I've not bought any properties yet or whatever, and I've been working on my credit. I turned 18 December 3rd of 2025. That's when I turned 18, and it's now May 16th, the time of this recording. And my credit score has my credit score has skyrocketed. I'm chilling with credit. I now have over £5,000 worth of credit that I can use if I wanted to, right? And a lot of you guys don't even have, you know, £50 or $50 of credit. You don't even have any credit at all, you know? So now if I went broke, I know that, okay, obviously I'll sort me being broke out, but I know that I've got like a safety gap. I can now go to my credit or go to my savings, which is something I'll talk about just now, but go to my credit or go to my savings and dip into that. So I know I don't have to stress. And another point is savings. If you are 16 years old, depending on your country, if you are 16 or 18 years old, I think that you should be working. Now, I'm not saying go do work, that you don't want to do. If you don't want to do it, fine. But I genuinely think that you should be working, because if you are working and having money, because when you're young, you don't really have expenses. You don't have anything to pay. So if you just work and save it, not if money is just coming into your account and it's just staying there and you're not spending any of it, that's a plus. That sets you ahead of someone that sets you ahead of someone who's 25 years old and has to work and pay those bills. Because at the end of the month, they're working, they get the money, and then let's say they get £1,000 in the account, right, per month. And then now they have to pay bills. They're paying like $850, You're the one who's actually getting more money or keeping more money than that person who's 25 years old. And that just puts you ahead, because imagine now all the months that you're saving whilst you're living with your parents. It's a good thing. And if you save that and put it in the high yield savings account, or sorry, I'm sick. If you put it in the savings account that I was talking about earlier, or if you put it in the Roth IRA or the stocks and shares ISA, it will put you ahead of most people. So that's something you should do. Another thing I wanted to talk about in terms of things that you should do before or when you turn 18 is you really need to educate yourself. And I'm not talking about books or like school or stuff like that. Obviously, yes, you do that, but I'm talking about in terms of being responsible, in terms of managing finances, in terms of all these things, right? Because some of you have already seen that the information I'm telling you, you've probably not heard about it before. If you have, good on you. But it's not something, this is not a type of conversation that you have every day, you know? So try and educate yourself. Watch YouTube videos. I really encourage people to watch content on YouTube that is actually going to help them. Because over time, if you're learning something every day, you will have all this information in your head, like I am able to tell you now off the top of my head, because I've spent so much time trying to learn on and consume this content. So yeah, really try to educate yourself, really try to understand how things work and how things can benefit you, and how to actually get ahead and get further ahead of most people, even if they're older than you. That's a really important thing that you need to learn. What's another thing that I can talk about? Oh, another thing I wanted to talk about is spend time alone with yourself. When we're young, you're very easily molded into someone that you're not, If you are spending time around a group of friends, whether you know that they're good for you or bad for you, you'll end up being what they want you to be, or you'll end up being their type of person, if that makes sense. But when you spend time with yourself, you kind of understand what you want. There's no one influencing your decision. You understand what you really want. Like, I could tell you what I want, you know, after doing this process of spending a lot of time with myself. I really want to help people. I want to be a source of information online for Africans. You know, I want to help people in Africa to achieve their goals, because as an African person looking at the world, Africans have been suppressed for a long time. So I just kind of want to remove that bar and set on Africans and help them become wealthy on a mass scale. Help them invest in themselves, help them fix the continent and stuff like that. That's what I want to do, right? Those are my goals. Now, I'm sure you have your goals, right? You want to do this and that, but just make sure that your goals are genuine to you and not influenced to you by your parents or by your friends or by anyone else, but just you. So yeah. Trying to think of something else that I should tell you. Oh, the last point I wanted to talk about is to trust the process. Um, trust the process. Sometimes you'll feel like whatever you're working on or working at is not going to work. Don't be impatient to start changing things, to change your strategy, or to change whatever it is you're doing. Just let it rock. Be one. Make it one. Do whatever you're doing, be one with it. Don't try to fight it or force it to work. Just show up every day. That's a really important thing. Showing up every single day, consistently over time. And trust me, you'll get where you want to be. If you like this video, like, comment, share, subscribe so I can put more content like this towards you guys. And let me know in the comment section if you want more videos like this on trying to help young people. And as always, from Africa to the world, let's build wealth. Check out my channel for more videos. Take out. Peace out.